Hey guys, hope you all have been well. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing Will I Bite number 13. I did post my last one 2 weeks ago, and that's sort of the time frame that I give like new releases a chance to just build up, and then we talk about what's coming out. In addition to that, I'm going to be buying some makeup. I do have some that's already been purchased. A lot of what you saw last week and possibly the week before is like pre-recorded. Some of them were recorded like a week and a half before they were actually uploaded. So this video is going to be going out a week from when I'm filming it. It's Monday and it's going up next Monday. Just wanted to give you the time frame so that if you're wondering why is the haul coming so quickly, it's because a lot of the stuff you saw were pre-recorded. Before we begin, however, I do want to take the time to address what is going on in the nation. I don't want to talk too much about it because I feel like in order to do the most, I need to give. Simply put, my heart goes out to all the families, not just Mr. Floyd, but everyone that has lost their lives as a result of police brutality by horrible people. And I believe that justice needs to be brought for all these undeserved deaths. Point blank, period. Political parties all aside, this is about human lives, regardless of every other thing. And we can't claim equality unless everyone is in that group. And there are people that are crying out that they're not. So they need to be heard and their issues need to be taken seriously and addressed. But I also think it needs to be noted that the violence that is happening, people's businesses being burned down and vandalized, stolen from, emergency vehicles that are being crushed, damaged, stopped. In my opinion, it's not the answer. You're just creating more chaos. It's taking away the voice of what this is all about. So the stealing, the vandalism, the fires, all of that is overshadowing the cause. And there are protesters out there being overshadowed by these things whose focus is to bring justice for these individuals, all of them. People have died, lives were lost, and the fact that people are using their deaths as an advantage and masking it as avenging their deaths pisses me off. I needed to get that off my chest. I'm frustrated that it's always a masking of their purpose. It's always someone else trying to come in and take over the spotlight of their purpose. And this is not a party line problem. It's everybody's problem. There's so much more I can say about this, and I hope people don't take my frustration. I can formulate my thoughts, but again, it's like I don't want to speak too much when I can't provide the kind of service and the kind of support that I want to provide. I'm halfway across the world from when all of this is happening. I understand anger. I just don't see how these actions will change anything. It's making it worse. And again, taking away from this focus. This focus is about lives lost, but everyone's talking about the fires, talking about looting, talking about vandalism. Stop. I'm not going to sit here and lie that I'm afraid to put this on the internet, but it is how I feel. And I'm of the opinion that a lot of good can be done when people are willing to work together. There's too many good people in this world for this kind of stuff to happen and not being able to work towards fixing it. You know what I mean? We're better than this. We're all better than this, myself included. Woosah. Okay, we're gonna move on because I need to regain all of this. BH Cosmetics is gonna be coming out with the Weekend Vibes collection, and it's a whole summer vibe according to them. So there's a avocado toast eyeshadow palette, mimosa eyeshadow palette, Belgian waffle. I mean, it's a whole thing. I am quite frankly over monochromatic colorful eyeshadows. There always comes a point with makeup where it's like overdone, and I think we've reached that with eyeshadow palettes. I will say though that the blush palette here is really cute, but they are colors that I normally gravitate towards, so I'm just speaking based off my interest. But I'm not interested in the highlighters or the eyeshadow palettes. I'm just kind of over it. I know that a lot of people still enjoy it, otherwise it wouldn't be as prominent as it is, but for me personally, I'm just, Okay, I'm going to talk about the Divine Rose palette. This will be Pat McGrath's newest release. It's the Mothership 8 Divine 2 palette, and there is a lot to be said about this palette. The launch of this is pretty huge. I hear so many people talk about it, and I will say that I did purchase this palette. I bit the bullet and decided I'm gonna try a Pat McGrath palette. I didn't end up getting the pink version of this palette, nor did I want it, but I'm just saying, like, it sold out by the time I decided to purchase the palette. But it will be coming in the mail eventually. It's a lot of money to spend on one palette, but I just bit the bullet and decided I'm gonna purchase it, and I did. Charlotte Tilbury is coming out with 3 new Matte Revolution lipsticks for bridal wear. Pretty interesting. I will say this, every single shade that I see here, I like. Will I buy it? Probably not, because I'm sure I have all 3 of these shades within my collection. But if money just happens to be around, or they're like, hey, here's a PR package, I'm not gonna say no. They are very beautiful, but I do have them in my collection. I won't be purchasing them, but if I didn't have them, I probably would have purchased them. Fenty Beauty is coming out with some Slip Shine lipsticks. I just saw, while I was getting ready for this, just saw someone do a review full swatch video on darker complexion, and I'm just gonna say they all looked beautiful, but they're not the kind of lipsticks that I personally go for. I prefer a gloss to put over if I want shine. But that being said, the way that it looked on this beautiful lady's lips were amazing. They looked so good, but I feel like they're more glosses or like very sheer lipsticks as opposed to being like true pigment, which is something that I want in a lipstick because I like having glosses. But again, they were pretty, especially the nudes and the clear one. Oh, they look so good on her. I finally get a photo of J Kiss's palette, and the cause for this whole palette, the collection, I think is awesome. It's to help out, animals, particularly dogs. So I think this is wonderful. I love the idea of adding stickers to customize your own palette. I did see Robert Welsh do a tutorial using this palette, and the pigment on these eyeshadows were amazing. I thought they were beautiful. So if you're into the cause, if you're into colorful eyeshadow palettes, I personally think this is wonderful, and the quality seems to be up to par. I just personally am not into colorful eyeshadows, so I have enough to get me through like my want to do colorful looks. So I would pass on this personally, but from what I've seen, I think this is a great palette for colorful eyeshadow lovers. Lastly, Urban Decay is going to be coming out with the Naked Ultraviolet palette. This is their take on a purple eyeshadow. I don't know how I feel about it. I think there needs to be like real swatches, people getting PRs and maybe swatching them in like live for me to see the quality of them to formulate an opinion. I know that purple eyeshadows are very hard to make, so if the quality is up to standard, then I think this is a great looking palette. But I will also say that it's a safer colorful palette. You have like your neutrals and then you have the purples. It's not an entirely violet or purple palette, so you're able to vamp it up and tone it down, which for me is a great eyeshadow palette. But I know that some people will make the claim that if you're going to call it an ultraviolet palette, it should be all purples. But we'll see when it comes out what people make of it. And that's it. I hit the iconic London photo that I did in my last video. So I've gone through everything that has piqued my interest, and I really do hope that you enjoyed this video. Again, please everyone, take notice of people around you. If they're suffering, help them out. I think that we should all work towards making this better and actually finding solutions and not just fighting all the time. This country has been up in arms for a little while, and I don't think blaming and doing all of that, though it's acceptable to feel, will not be the way that we solve it. We can't just keep adding fuel to the fire. We need to be able to work together to put it out. Thank you guys so much for joining me in this video. This makeup look can be found on Instagram. First link in the description box down below, where you'll find a post of this makeup look along with all the products in the caption. Till the next video, I hope you all are doing well, taking great care of yourselves, and taking great care of each other. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.